A reading from Matthew's Gospel, chapter 15, beginning at the 10th verse. And Jesus called the people to him and said to them, Hear and understand. It is not what goes into the mouth that defiles a person, but what comes out of the mouth. This defiles a person. Then the disciples came and said to him, Do you know that the Pharisees were offended when they heard this saying? He answered, Every plant that my heavenly Father has not planted will be rooted up. Let them alone, they're blind guides. And if the blind lead the blind, both will fall into a pit. But Peter said to him, Explain the parable to us. And he said, Are you still without understanding? Do you not see that whatever goes into the mouth passes into the stomach and is expelled? But what comes out of the mouth proceeds from the heart, and this defiles a person. For out of the heart come evil thoughts, murder, adultery, sexual immorality, theft, false witness, slander. These are what defile a person, but to eat with unwashed hands does not defile anyone. And Jesus went away from there, and withdrew to the district of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a Canaanite woman from that region came out and was crying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, Son of David. My daughter is severely oppressed by a demon. But he did not answer her a word. And his disciples came and begged him, saying, Send her away, for she is crying out after us. He answered, I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But she came and knelt before him, saying, Lord, help me. And he answered, It is not right to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs. She said, Yes, Lord, yet even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table. Then Jesus answered her, O woman, great is your faith. Be it done for you as you desire. And her daughter was healed instantly. These two passages that I've just read to you sit together, the business of the Pharisees and also the Canaanite woman. And the point is the same in both of them. In the end, where your heart is the most important thing. The Pharisees were very keen on the Old Testament regulations. Well, good, no problem there. But in order to stop you breaking them unintentionally, they put a hedge around them of other laws, other commandments, the traditions of men, as it's called in the New Testament. And the idea of these was to stop you accidentally breaking one of the 10 Commandments. So, for instance, there was a limit on how far you could walk on the Sabbath. Why? Well, not because it's there in the Old Testament, but because they didn't want you to accidentally break the commandment by getting hot or out of breath or sweating or whatever else it might be. So it was very much an external religion that was being put forth by the Pharisees. But Jesus says it's not what you eat that defiles you, but what comes from the heart. Not what goes in the mouth, but what you speak from your mouth. Why? Because your words come out from your heart. They tell us something deeply about you. And that's why the Canaanite woman fits nicely with this. Because she would be unclean. She was a Gentile. The Pharisees would have looked on her with disdain. But yet she came to Christ and she persisted. She would not be put off. When Jesus was quiet, she called out all the more. When Jesus tried to put her off, she refused and went forward all the more. Jesus drew her on by all of this. He helped her express her faith. He allowed her to demonstrate her faith by these gentle rebuffs. And so he brought her on. And so her faith was displayed because she persisted with Christ. And so Jesus said, Great is your faith. The thing is that in the end, it's our hearts which are the important things, not what we do, not the outward actions that we do, not the outward acts that we carry out. It's our hearts. If our heart are with God, then everything else follows from there. Our actions proceed from there. But if our heart isn't with God, no number of good deeds will help you out. The question is this: where is your heart? That is the main question. That is what Jesus is getting at. And that is the question he puts to us.